Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. I was a teaching instructor when I was there. I've worked thousands of IRS cases, and today I want to explain to you the 6-year rule. You know, for most people who file their tax returns or W-2s, who get their refund every year, this is kind of a shock that some people have never filed returns. It's not uncommon for me to have calls for people who haven't filed in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But there's an IRS policy statement that says you only have to file the last 6 years. It's Policy Statement P5133. You can go look it up yourself, but IRS policy statements, and put that policy statement number in there, 5-133. And it's kind of bizarre, but IRS says, hey, if you've never filed, you only have to file 6 years. Why is it 6 years, and why is this policy statement? Well, as an agent, when I was there knocking on doors, delivering some subpoenas to come in and see me, I was taking assets, houses, cars. People would come in and they wouldn't have their records when they were supposed to file these back tax returns. And I'd always say, hey, just go ahead and pull your bank records up. Bank records were available on microfiche. You could get them for the last 6 years, most common sources. Well, IRS determined, since people weren't filing returns, what is a good year number for them to say, hey, you only have to file the last 6. Well, the IRS policy statement says 6. Why? Because most banks kept your records for 6 years, and then you could reconstruct a tax return. That's what IRS is thinking. It was good thinking, actually, very good. You can go back to most companies, they have records 6 years. Why is that? Well, they can't keep their computer loaded with all this stuff, all bank gifts. So IRS and everyone said 6 years is a great number. So if you've never filed your tax returns, the explanation that IRS has is 6 years is a common number to be able to get records, because most company keeps them that long. So IRS adopted this policy on a policy statement, and 6 years is just fine. You can reconstruct anyone's tax returns if you have their bank statements, and even if you don't have your bank statements, it's easy to go ahead and reconstruct a tax return, because if I know what your monthly living expenses are, and if I was an agent, I would give you a form 4822. With that form, you put in what your monthly expenses are. I multiply it by 12. If you're giving me 1 month, I'd come up with what your yearly income would be. So it's easy to reconstruct your tax return, but I just want you to know the IRS policy statement, it's a great policy. So I want to tell you, if you have never filed a tax return, you haven't filed one for 8, 9, 12, whatever years, you only have to file the last 6 years. So right now, you only have to file from the year 2020 forward. So for those of you who just have to file 18 and 19, you don't have to file it. The government gives you a lot of grace. It's only a policy, it's not the law. IRS, in some cases, if it's an asset case, they may say, we want to go back more. Keep in mind, it's not a state regulation, it's only a federal law. So that's the best I got on the IRS policy statement and why it is. If you haven't filed your back tax returns and you just need to file the last 6 years, you may want to go ahead and call me. We've got a great team to do this. You find my number, you can email me, you can send me a text, whatever, but we're really good as far as the debt you owe. I'm a former revenue officer. I've written a book on IRS settlements, so you're welcome to go ahead and get a hold of me. Thank you so much. Give me a subscription, pass this on. I'm sure you know a non-filer, so there's always hope for everyone. Thank you so very much.